My mom demanded my house for my sister, claiming she needed it more. I'm 31 years old, and I've got a 28-year-old sister who's always been my mother's favorite. She's the one my mom's always had her eye on, while my dad never bought into that dynamic. When I was a teenager, my parents split because my mom cheated on my dad with an old high school flame. Ever since, my mom's been controlling and manipulative, and my sister? Well, she's basically a carbon copy of her. My mom always treated me like a servant, ordering me around with a snap of her fingers. It was humiliating, and my sister was always right there backing her up. So, I moved in with my dad, and my sister stayed with mom. They're both like that, rarely speaking to my dad unless it's about money. I'm more like my dad, and he started teaching me his business when I was 16. I picked it up fast, and after 12 years, I was made a partner. Things were good until about 8 months ago. My dad had been a heavy smoker for years, and the damage finally caught up with him. He passed away from COVID-19 at 60. The funeral was a video call due to social distancing. I hadn't seen my mom and sister in years, and even then, the reunion was cold. My dad was cremated, no casket, just ashes. My sister seemed upset, but my mom? She was distant, just like she always was. The last time she saw my dad, she was screaming at him about how much more money he owed her, threatening to sue him. It was always about money with her. She's fine, though. Still works the same job, owns the old family home, and rents out rooms on Airbnb. She doesn't need anything from anyone. When the will was read, it was clear my dad had been preparing for his death. He left most of his assets to his business and his home, and I got the bulk of it. My sister got a car and some cash. My mom? She got $1,000 and a few items she always claimed were hers. So, now I'm living in the house my dad passed down to me with my girlfriend. My sister's life has been a mess. She dropped out of community college after 2 years, barely worked, and lived off her boyfriend. She got pregnant, but then had a miscarriage. After that, her boyfriend lost his full-time job, and they struggled. Then, she got pregnant again. She called it her miracle baby, but, truth be told, she had no plan. One day, out of the blue, my mom and sister showed up at my door. They walked in like they owned the place, and my girlfriend and I were left confused. My sister immediately started snooping around, opening doors, giving herself a tour. My mom just plopped on the couch, snapping her fingers for a cold bottle of water, which my girlfriend got for her. I asked what they were there for, and my sister ignored me, still snooping. Eventually, I heard her yell, "Mommy, it's perfect." Yes, she still calls her mommy. Then my mom spoke up, saying, "I think it's time you stop playing the good son." I didn't know what she was talking about. She went on, "Now that your father's gone, this house should be mine since I was his wife. But you can still fix this. You make good money, and you could just buy yourself a new house. Your sister needs this one more, especially with her baby on the way. You could stay here, just keep to one room, and pay all the bills until you decide to move out." At this point, I could tell exactly where this was going, and I wasn't having it. I took a deep breath and said, "That's not happening. You don't get to tell me what to do in my own home. Yes, I make good money, but like Dad, I'm saving it for when I need it. Not for you." My mom snapped her fingers at me like she always did, saying, "I'm your mother, and you will do what I say. I brought you into this world, and I'm the boss here. When I say jump, you ask how high. This house is mine, and your sister will live here. Consider this your formal eviction. I'll give you 2 weeks to pack and hand over the deed." I couldn't believe it. But instead of arguing, I pulled out my phone and started dialing. She jumped up, yelling, "What are you doing?" I answered, "I'm doing what I should have done the second you walked in. I'm calling the cops to get you out of my house." She tried swiping my phone out of my hand and even tried stomping on it, but I grabbed it back before she could. She slapped me across the face, and I snapped, hitting her back twice as hard. She stumbled back onto the couch, looking shocked. "How dare you?" she yelled. I kept dialing and told her that if she didn't leave, I'd have the police remove her. My sister rushed in, trying to break us up, telling me to be a good brother. I snapped, really? I'm the bad sibling? I've worked for everything I have since I was a teenager. You barely did a thing except sit around, steal my money, and live off everyone else. I don't owe you anything. I turned back to my phone and said, now, both of you get out, or I'm dialing the police. My sister started crying, shouting for mommy to make me stop. My mom tried to turn the tables, saying, if you call the cops, I'll just tell them you hit me. I could make it sound like you're going to hurt a poor pregnant girl. You don't want that on your record. I raised my hand, cutting her off. You're not fooling anyone. My girlfriend has been recording this whole time. We've got evidence of you attacking me and threatening to lie to the police. You really want to risk your reputation over this? If looks could kill, my mother would have nuked me right on the spot. But instead, she just deflated and started dragging my crying sister out of my house by the arm. Of course, my sister acted like a spoiled toddler, breaking free from my mom's grip to sit on my porch steps and throw a tantrum. I looked at my mother and said, do you see now? This is what happens when you spoil her. She shot me another glare and then put on a real show, trying to drag my sister off the porch. But my sister just latched onto the handrails and kept yelling, you promised me, over and over. I let out a laugh and shouted from the door, don't ever come back. My mom flipped me off and kept struggling with my sister. It took a while, but finally, my mom managed to get my sister to leave, telling her that I was a cruel, heartless bastard who would burn in hell for this. I just laughed again and said, yeah, there's a special place in hell for liars and narcissists who try to manipulate others. My mother was about to respond when I pulled out my phone and started recording. The clock's ticking, Mom. Get off my property. After that, she walked my sister to the car, shot me one last snooty look, and drove off. I thought it was over, but of course, my mom couldn't just let it go. A few days later, I started getting messages from people, including some relatives. A lot of them were angry with me, but others were just curious about what had happened. I tried to check my Facebook, but couldn't see anything since my sister and mom both blocked me. My girlfriend, though, could still see everything because their profiles were public. We took screenshots and printed some of the posts. Both of them were calling me a greedy bastard who stole the house that was supposed to be my sister's inheritance, claiming I paid off the lawyer handling my dad's will, complete lies, and they both knew it. I called my lawyer, who was also my dad's lawyer and a family friend. I gave him copies of all the screenshots and the video my girlfriend recorded when my mom demanded my house. My lawyer suggested sending a formal cease and desist letter, but I wanted to take it further. He sent a letter, via express mail, that had to be signed for, so I knew they received it. The same day the letter was delivered, my mom called me furious. I told her that if she and my sister didn't take down the lies and tell the truth, I'd send everything to the whole family, her boss, and post the videos online. I also told her I'd sue her. She called me unreasonable and started lecturing me, claiming she did it all for my sister's sake and that my sister needed my house more than I did because she was broke and pregnant. I didn't care what she thought and bluntly told her, if you don't take it down and tell the truth, I'll make sure your career's over. She finally gave in, saying, fine, you win. Keep the house, before hanging up. That evening, all the lying posts disappeared from their profiles. I was unblocked, and my mom gave me a half-hearted apology, saying she jumped the gun because she thought my sister needed the house more, but she knew the house was rightfully mine according to my dad's will. She admitted she had no right to try and claim it. My sister also apologized, but it was basically her just repeating everything my mom said, claiming she just went along with it because of her pregnancy hormones. The replies flooded in for days, many people furious with them for trying to take my house. I got a ton of sorry messages from those who'd believed the lies, but all that did was show me who was really on my mom's side. Most of them were from her side of the family anyway. No one from my dad's side believed her, and they made that clear. My sister and her boyfriend ended up moving in with my mom to save money, but my mom stuck them in the basement while she kept renting out the upstairs through Airbnb. My sister started whining on social media about how she couldn't live upstairs, and I'm pretty sure they were fighting non-stop because all she did after that was complain online, while my mom barely posted anything anymore. After her stunt, she knew better than to make any more moves like that.